Okay, now next up is It's Complicated. Put million-time Oscar nominee Meryl Streep in a film alongside Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin. You think it's going to be great, right? No. But it was good. Streep plays Jane, who recently hooked up with her ex-husband, but she's also been seeing a lonely architect who's heartbroken, played by Steve Martin. So, hence why it's complicated. Let the adventure begin. Baldwin is the absolute show stealer in this one. His brand of his natural ability to present comedy just cracks me up all the time after time, no matter what he does, whether it be on 30 Rock or a movie like this, or even a small part like My Sister's Keeper. Now, Martin and Streep are also very good here, but the story lacks any real direction at a lot of points, and, well, pun intended, it gets complicated, where it leaves us wanting a lot more than the movie gives us. But that said, I still laughed a lot, I still enjoyed the actors, so I give It's Complicated 3 stars out of 5. Okay, next up is Sherlock Holmes, the latest interpretation of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's famous detective stories from Great Britain. Of course, the infamous Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. This is nothing, I repeat, nothing like the original stories. Any resemblance is merely by the names and by coincidence. But this is pretty much something that you can compare to the interpretations of Hamlet or many Shakespeare stories we've seen over the years. We've seen them set in modern times, we've seen the dialogue switched up a little bit, but in most Shakespeare interpretations, the dialogue actually does remain the same for a general consensus of the film. Now, Sherlock Holmes was usually written as a smart, intelligent, and sometimes witty detective in the original novels and some of the other movies. The character has been played time and time again in many films by many actors, including Basil Rathbone, Jeremy Brett, Frank Langella, Peter Cushing, John Barrymore, James D'Arcy, Michael Caine, John Cleese, Peter Cook, Rupert Everett, William Gillette, Stuart Granger, Charlton Heston, Anthony Higgins, Raymond Massey, Roger Moore, John Neville, Leonard Nimoy, Christopher Plummer, Jonathan Pryce, and now Mr. Robert Downey Jr. And he turns him into a wisecracking like action hero, and you know what? I enjoyed it. Jude Law is also very well cast here as Dr. Watson, playing this kind of the straight man to Downey's energy here. And I also enjoyed Rachel McAdams as Irene Adler. She really is a firecracker here, as she is in many other films. Downey is having a great time here, and that's what makes this film entertaining and redeeming value work. He's enjoying being a box office superstar now, but still maintaining his acting abilities. He's been an indie darling for years, working his way from his substance abuse problems, and I think if anybody deserves it and deserves to enjoy it, it is him. He makes this film energetic, and he deserves the recognition he's been getting for all the films he does lately. So Sherlock Holmes gets 3.5 stars out of 5 for being superbly entertaining. And next up is The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, and this film came from the undoubtedly drugged out mind of Terry Gilliam. Now, this movie was warped, messed up, and completely and utterly ridiculous at times. And you know what? Yes, I enjoyed it. Heath Ledger plays Tony in his final role, and that in the film that he never actually finished 100%, but he shows that he's completely on his game still, unlike River Phoenix, who, of course, was another great young actor who died before his time. And but yet Ledger shows up right until the very end. He had it, which obviously explains why not a lot of people saw it coming. Now, Dr. Parnassus is played by the always reliable Christopher Plummer, who made a deal with the devil for eternal youth, well, eternal life, I guess you could say, in exchange for his daughter's soul when she turns 16. Well, she's approaching 16, and of course Tony, who works with Parnassus' traveling show, doesn't like it one bit. The devil actually is played by scene-stealing vitality by eclectic, critically acclaimed musician and part-time actor Tom Waits. He's absolutely fantastic here. He really just brings, I guess you could say, charm to the character, if you will, even though if you're not supposed to like him, but you want to see him on screen whenever he's there. Now, of course, Ledger's character of Tony wants to help her out, and he ventures, don't ask why, I don't have time to explain it, in the Imaginarium, the mind of Dr. Parnassus. And those are the scenes that Ledger did not get to film, because of course they require a lot of visualization, and they are very well shot. Now, of course, the character of Tony is taken over by the likes of Jude Law, Colin Farrell, and Johnny Depp, Ledger's real-life friends, doing the movie for a very reduced price in tribute to their friend. But Colin Farrell is actually the show stealer in that aspect of the character of Tony. He really brings it to life in his scenes. Now, in my opinion, I would have figured Depp would have done the best job, but I guess you never know the mindset of these three going into this film, completing it for their friend who had just recently died. But Farrell seems to bring a lot of energy to it, and kudos to him for that. He's getting better with every film. So, for all that, I can appreciate what was presented here and the value that it had, even if it is really warped. So I give the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus 3 stars out of 5. Alright, and finally, Broken Embraces. Now, watching Broken Embraces, I could have sworn this film was directed by M. Night Shyamalan, because the twists and turns at every single corner, like I couldn't even get up to go to the bathroom, I just had to stay with what was going on. That's not always a good thing, people. But to me, it was nothing more than a mess with an unattainable goal. This film is from Spanish director Pedro Almodovar, and using the De Niro to his Scorsese, Penelope Cruz, as the star. Not a shock. And when these two are together and they're on, they are electric. When they're off, it's a complete and utter power outage. This film, and that's what this film does, it just completely loses power. Cruz is good enough, but she lacks the energy that made her an Oscar winner last year. The story is of a prostitute turned, no, she doesn't have a heart of gold, a prostitute turned actress falling for her director, and something unexpected happens, which I really do not want to explain. Now, I won't give away because I don't want to be spiteful, because this film's not awful, it's just merely not good. But I guess some Penelope Cruz fans will want to check this out. It wasn't dreadful, but I did not enjoy it much at all. So 2 stars out of 5.